All right, so quadratic formula. Okay, we're picking this back up. Remember, it's behind Ava's head, so you don't necessarily have to memorize it. If you forget it, it's there. Okay. A, B, and C correspond to the numbers in front of the variables, or C is just like the constant term that doesn't have a variable with it. So we just take those numbers literally out of the equation given to us and we plug them into this formula, okay, paying attention to signs that are on them, and then we just solve it down. We're always going to have two answers because there is a plus or minus here, okay, because remember when we're taking the square root of something, it's plus or minus, okay, when we're solving. So we had done 4 the other day, and we did 8 the other day, but I'm going to do several more. Okay, and you will need just like a basic calculator. I think most of y'all have at least a scientific calculator here, so you need that. If you for some reason don't have one with you today, you can use the one on your phone as long as you're not texting. But on a quiz or a test, you would need to actually have a calculator for it. So let's see, we had done 4 and 8, so I'm going to go back and do 6. M squared plus 3m plus 1 equals 0. Okay, so in this case, okay, a is the number in front of m squared. Well, there's not one that we can visibly see, but if it's not there, then it's got to be a 1. So a is equal to 1. B is equal to 3. And C is equal to 1. Okay, so now we're going to take that stuff and we're going to plug it into the quadratic formula, okay? The negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so I'm just rewriting it. You don't have to write the actual formula every time. If you want to do it to help you understand it and whatever, totally fine to do that. I'll only typically write it once and then I'll go through and just do all the problems with it sitting there. So negative b. b is 3, so I have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of, it's b squared. b is 3, so it's 3 squared minus 4 times a times c. So a is 1 and c is 1, so times 1 all over 2 times a, which is 1, so 2 times 1.
Is it always going to be minus 4?
Yeah, because the formula is always going to have the minus 4 in there. And after, like, typically in Algebra 2, I show it to them at some point, is actually where the quadratic formula comes from. You actually get it from the Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah.
Solving it.
Isn't that like the thing where like
Triangles.
it's like an image and like it just goes forever?
No, just a triangle.
And what is that? Because Mr. Cass, when he was teaching, he showed us this thing and it was like a picture and like it was never.
Probably the.
It looked like a beetle.
A what?
Beetle?
A beetle.
I have no idea.
Are you sure it looks like
Can I
a
look
beetle,
it up?
Brandon?
Not right now. Alright, so negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared is 9 minus 4 times 1 times 1 is just 4 all over 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so this becomes the square root of 5. Okay, so I'm going to write this now as negative 3, and I'm going to go ahead and split it because I'm going to have two answers. So I'm going to do plus the square root of 5 over 2, and then I'm going to do negative 3 minus the square root of 5 over 2. Okay, now your calculators are oh so smart, and so you can type that into your calculator and get an answer. So you can do negative 3 plus the square root of 5 divided by 2. And somebody can tell me what they get for that. What'd you say?
I got negative 3.35.
So in your calculator, do negative 3 plus, and then do the square root of 5.
I got negative 2.1. What in the world?
And then get this answer, and then divide it by 2.
Oh, I tried to do it all in one thing.
If you do it all in one thing, it thinks that you mean this.
I put a parenthesis.
Well, if you put a parentheses, then it shouldn't have done that to you. I don't know.
I put a parenthesis around the thing.
What?
Come in. You're back.
Yes, I am.
I'm gonna give your packet of stuff to your brother. So I've got a whole packet of stuff for both of you. He just has a lot more. Okay, here. Brief pause. Oh no. I just screenshot my whole thing somehow. I don't really know what just happened. We're just gonna take it out because that seems like the better option at this point to not end the video.
Every time I write negative 3 and it keeps saying answer minus 3 and there's no answer clearly.
I'll show you why it's doing that. 1 second.
I have the same I have the text description.
So there are. Need a bigger desk. All right, so there are 2 minus/negative signs on your calculator, okay? So when you're doing the negative 3, there's a little negative button down here that's in parentheses. Okay, if you hit this, it's going to take whatever the last answer that was on your calculator was.
Alright.
So you want to use the negative and then 3, and then do plus. The square root button is above the x squared on the text instrument one. So hit second. Okay, that's up here. And then this x squared button, and that should give you this little radical symbol. Okay? And then do 5, and then hit enter. Okay, but that's not your answer. That's just the top part. So then we need to divide it by 2. So that took the last answer, and it says divide that by 2. So when I did that, I got negative 0.38.
Oh, I got that. I just thought I was wrong. I remember how I got it.
Okay, so that's one of them. Okay, so negative 0.38 is the first one. Okay, but now we have the one that is minus that. Okay, so we're going to do, come in.
These are tennis pictures.
Oh, great.
Nice to see you as well.
Thanks. I've been chucking stuff all day. It's kind of satisfying, not going to lie. All right. So then negative 3, and this time, because it's in the middle of the problem, because it's minus the square root of 5, you can use the regular minus sign. Then the square root of 5, and get that number. Okay, so that takes care of the top. Then you've got to divide it by 2. So you should get negative 2 and we're going to round to 2 decimal places, so negative 2.62. Here, bring it up here. So let's see. So with yours, we're gonna do the negative
That's
3.
man. And then
Did you get the first one or this one worked?
No.
That's the whole
No,
show.
okay.
I completely forgot.
Plus
See, I
the square root
remember
buttons
that.
there, so second square root of 5.
Do you not remember that? Oh my god.
That's great. Hold on.
Wow, man. You need to go and do research. The information
Why is
behind
it doing that? What's happening?
At Busch Gardens.
No wonder you're having issues with your calculator.
I'm so happy that I met her because now she's a living meme that I can say I met that meme. She was in Paul Blart Mall Cop.
What's happening?
She got my birthday Mall Cop. Why? Oh yeah. Wait, one day. Okay. That's one day before
Okay. Now I've got to figure out.
At the concert, take out a poster board. Sorry, Olivia, I'm gluing.
Okay, I think I fixed it.
Maybe she'll help you. You know
Nope,
anything
nope,
about
that's the
what
wrong
you
thing. Negative 3 plus
Hey,
the
you
square
were
root of
born.
5 divided
She
by
might perform
2.
there for all you know.
I hit
What's
Hmm.
4 4 is
divided by 2. Divided
Is
by
it
2.
fixed again?
Okay, I have it fixed now.
Okay.
It was this weird mode that it was in for some reason. So if you, now you should be able to do it and it should do it for you. I've never seen a scientific calculator in that mode before. Alright, so let's see, we did 8, so I'm going to move down to 10. So 2t squared plus 3t minus 11 equals 0. Alright, so what is A?
Negative 3. Oh,
A is 2. What is B?
3.
You were ready to start plugging in.
Yeah. We're not gonna talk about that.
C is
Negative 1.
okay. So now I'm gonna plug in. Okay, I'm not gonna rewrite the formula. It's behind Ava's head if you need to look at it. All right, so it's. I'm gonna see if y'all can tell me what to fill in.
Negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 11 over 2 times 2.
Oh, Brandon.
That's what I was trying to do when I said negative.
I know. Well, that's why I was like, as soon as you said it, I was like, "There's no negative." Oh, yep. He's trying to plug it in. All right. So now simplify it down. So negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 times negative 11 makes that plus 88 over 2 times 2 is 4. So negative 3 plus or minus, let's see, 88 plus 9 is what, 97? So, okay, hold on. We're going to go ahead and separate it. So plus the square root of 97 over 4, and then I'm going to have the negative 3 minus the square root of 97 over 4. So then I just need to know what those two things are. So you can type those in. As you get them, tell me what the answers are.
I got something.
What'd you get?
I got 1.7.
2 decimal places.
Oh. 1, 2.
1.71.
Hey,
Oh,
yo.
1, yeah. I don't
Remember,
know.
if it's 5 or above, we round up. If it's
I
4
don't
or
know
below,
why
we round down.
I didn't see the 1 in front of the 2.
Oh. All right, and then the second one.
Don't even worry about it. I got 5.46.
I did not get that. I
Hold
got
on, let me try that again.
I got negative 3.21.
Brandon, sometimes phone calculators are a little bit weird with
I got negative 3.21.
okay, I was gonna say sometimes they're weird with the square root values.
I don't know what I did differently because I didn't do anything differently, but I got a different answer.
I think Brandon seems like actually.
I think I just needed an app.
All right, so sometimes, okay, these ones you'll notice that they had everything already set up for you. It's equal to 0.
Please no.
Okay, the next ones are gonna have some things on both sides. You need to shift them all to one side. Okay, they're not anything.
So how do I
Super
keep track of what is A, B, and C?
It's so A is always the x squared term, B is always the x term, and C is always the constant term with no variable. So I would say C constant, no variable.
Got it.
So and then they're alphabetical. So highest power goes with the first letter in the alphabet. So 14. 3x squared minus 4 equals 11x. Okay? Now, if you forget basic rules of algebra in moving stuff left to right, right to left, okay, then you're going to have a problem.
I know that.
Okay? So
Add 4.
I'm going to actually move everything to the left. Okay? Move things to where most of the terms are. Okay, so I'm going to move the 11x over. What do I need to do to move it over? Okay, so subtract 11x. Now, because that's my x term, I'm going to put it in the middle. So 3x squared minus 11x minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so just that one step, okay, at most they're going to be 2. That one step puts you back just like you were in the last set of problems. Okay, so now what is A?
3x. No.
Just 3. No variables go with them. B,
11.
negative 11. Make sure you keep the signs. And C,
Negative 4.
negative 4. So now, tell me what goes in the formula.
Positive 11.
Okay, so negative times negative 11, so that's going to be positive 11.
Chris has a question.
No. I was just wondering if like the goal is to always get the other side to 0.
Yes, one side always has to be 0.
Okay. I was just making sure.
11 squared.
Okay, I'm just going to say negative 11. It's getting squared, so obviously the negative's going away. I just want to make sure you're used to keeping the signs with stuff. Okay.
Minus 4. Times 3. Times negative 4. Over 2a. Which is 3.
Okay. So I have 11 plus or minus the square root of, okay, we talked about with the negative 11, the negative, because it's getting squared, is going to become positive. So what is 11 squared? 121. Okay, negative 4 times 3
Negative 12.
times negative 4.
36. Negative 36.
You need one more thing up. You just did 12 times 3.
47.
Almost.
48.
48.
I was almost there.
Plus 48 over 6.
So now it would be 169.
Okay, so 11 plus the square root of 169 over 6, or 11 minus the square root of 169 over 6. So what are those?
Alright, so it's gonna be
4.
0.34.
My calculator says 4 period.
I got 3.22. I got Negative 433.
This one should be 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I was talking about negative. The negative one I got, negative 433.
-0.33.
Oh, wait. I got the answer on the right for the question on the left.
What?
I got 0.47.
How did you get 0.47?
Well, the square root of 169 is 13.
Yeah.
So the one on the right, 11 minus 13 would be -2. -2 divided by 6 would be -1/3.
I'm not gonna tell.
When's
I was
my
using
bracelet
-3.
coming?
Oh. All right, we're going to do one more.
Want more bracelets?
And then we'll pick this back up tomorrow. I'll give y'all a few to work on now. All right.
I'm terrible at this.
Alright,
What?
I've been getting the calculator right.
It's not bad. I am probably get worse, but how bad now?
All right, so this problem becomes where Chris's question was really good, okay? Because, okay, on the last one, we had 3 terms. 2 of them were on the left, 1 was on the right. We're like, okay, well, obviously, we have to have all 3 on the left, so I need to move it over, right? Now, I have 3 on the left. So had he not asked his question, or had we not pointed out the fact that one side has to be 0, you would probably ignore the 3 and just plug that stuff into the quadratic formula. Don't do that, okay? Something has to be equal to 0, okay? So we need to move this 3 over. So how do I move it over?
Subtract it from 7.
Okay, we're going to subtract it from 7. So 2m squared plus 9m. And then that's going to be plus 7 minus 3 is 4 equals 0. Now I'm ready to go.
Alright, hold on.
Okay, so I want you guys to, on your paper, go through the steps by yourself and try it, and then we'll go over it. That way you can see where you're at without me, like, giving you any other guidance at the moment. Okay, so figure out what A, B, and C are, and then plug them into the formula and put it in your calculator, and then we'll check them.
I was trying to write an A and I wrote an 8. I don't know how that happened. mom was like, just not my mom. My dad was like, just name the calf after Ava's math teacher. So now there's Stacy the calf form. So
I love that.
you're welcome.
Thanks.
My aunt's cow.
You done, Chris?
No, I'm trying to figure it
Like first take his time.
Chris, do you have paper?
out. I have it, but
I
it's
think I got it.
Oh, I can go give you one.
Oh, I didn't mean to hit it.
Trust me, I will not dab on him. I promise. I pinky promise. My pinky never lies.
All right, do we have answers?
Yes, I'll tell
That's
you.
my
All right, what did we get?
I got
Negative 0.5 and negative 4.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Does
I got
anybody
-0.05.
disagree?
Yeah, I got that too, but you know.
Yeah, I got 0.5. I
And
wrote
negative
0.5 down.
I wrote it 5 down
I
too.
didn't actually do it.
All right, so
Actually, no, it wasn't negative. Actually, I'm just gonna pull
all right,
it
so
out.
disagree though.
A was 2, B was 9, and C was 4. Okay, so plugging it in, you should have -9 plus or minus the square root of 9 squared minus 4 times 2 times 4. Okay, all over 2 times 2. That simplifies to -9 plus or minus the square root of 81 minus 32 over 4. Okay, this is the square root of 49. So -9 plus the square root of 49 over 4. And -9 minus the square root of 49 over 4. Okay, now this is equal to 7, just in case you wanted that. So this one should have been -0.5. Okay, if you saw a 0, the way your calculator will write it is -0.5. So you've got to pay attention to where the decimal is, but those are the same thing.
So it's fine if we write that.
Okay, it's fine if you write this, but y'all were telling me it was 0.05. A couple of you said that. That's what you got.
Yeah.
It should be 0.5 if you're going to write it that way. Okay,
That's
okay.
why I had to use it.
Okay, I just was making sure, and maybe you just like said it wrong, but that's why I just wanted to make sure, like, that is not the same as that.
We can't speak English.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure. Okay, the other one should be -4.
Oh, we lit.
Okay, so yeah, either way you wrote the 0.5 or 0.5 is fine. Okay, so the other day I gave you, I believe it was 5 and 7. So I'm going to give you to work on right now 9, 11, and 13. Okay, and we'll do more with this tomorrow with more steps of having to move more things around. Okay, still not bad, just moving 2 things instead of 1.